Zechariah chapter 13. In that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanliness. And it shall come to pass in that day, says Yahuah Tseva'oth, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean ruach to pass out of the land. And it shall come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begat him shall say unto him, You shall not live, for you speak lies in the name of Yahuah. And his father and his mother that begat him shall thrust him through when he prophesies. And it shall come to pass in that day that the prophet shall be ashamed, every one of his vision, when he has prophesied. Neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive. But he shall say, I am no prophet, I am a husbandman. For man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. And one shall say unto him, What are these wounds in your hands? Then he shall answer, Those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, says Yahuah Tseva'oth. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little ones. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, says Yahuah, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. And they shall call in my name, and I will hear them. I will say, It is my people, and they shall say, Yahuah Elohai. Zechariah chapter 14. Behold, the day of Yahuah comes, and your spoil shall be divided in the midst of you. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the house rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the remnant of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall Yahuah go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle, and his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof, toward the east and toward the west. And there shall be a great, very great valley. And half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the Negev. And ye shall say, Flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall react unto us. Tell, yea, ye shall flee, like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Yehudah, and Yahuah Elohai shall come, and all the Kadesh with them. And it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark, but it shall be one day which shall be known to Yahuah, not day nor night. But it shall come to pass that at evening time it shall be light. And it shall be in that day that living water shall go out from Jerusalem, half of them toward the former sea, and half of them toward the hinder sea. In summer and in winter shall it be. And Yahuah shall be king over all the earth. And in that day shall there be one Yahuah, and his name one. All the land shall be turned as a plain from Giv'ah to Rimnon, south of Jerusalem, and it shall be lifted up and inhabited in her place from Benjamin's gate and unto the place of the first gate, unto the corner gate, from the tower of Chanel unto the king's winepress. And men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahuah will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stood upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from Yahuah shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. And Yahudah shall also fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. And so shall be the plague of the house of the mule, of the camel, and of the donkey, and of all the beasts that shall be in these tents as this plague. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the king, Yahuah Tseva'oth, and to keep the feast of Cock. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the king, Yahuah Tseva'oth, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Mizraim go not up, and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith Yahuah will smite the heaven, that come not to keep the feast of Cukoth. This shall be the punishment of Mizraim, and the punishment of all the nations that come not up to keep the feast of Cukoth, in the day that shall be upon the bells of the horses of Kadesh LaHuah, and the pots in Yahuwah's house shall be like the bowls before the altar. Yea, every pot in Jerusalem and Yehudah shall be holiness unto Yahuah Tseva'oth. And all they that sacrifice shall come and take of them, and seethe therein. And in that day there shall be no more the Kenyah in the house of Yahuah Tseva'oth.